He's always there to give his advice and support. I see the work that he has put in. It is a tremendous amount of work, and even my husband, he is so impressed. I mean, his talent in this is definitely undeniable. He's very, very truthful. His students are standing up for him.
If you're thinking of what to invest in or how to start investing, we have the solution. By growing your wealth and better your trading winnings through one successful system and academy, learn how to trade using technical analysis. In this course, you'll learn about the fundamentals of trading, including the concept of trend, returns, stop loss, and volatility. Let us catch a glimpse of our Coach Kelvin in action.
Okay guys, good morning to you, Brian. Good morning to you, Jerry and Fred. Good morning to all of you. Alright, get some water. Okay, today is the 28th of September. We are just a couple of days away from the end of September. We're going to get into October pretty soon, all right? We'll talk about the monthly movement shortly during the charting segment there. Okay, let's go. Now, today's caption, gentle reminder, inflation may not be transitory. All right, that is my caption for this morning. Now, why do I say that? Because, yes, indeed, Jerome Powell has finally came on board and tell that, okay, now that the inflation problem seems to be a little bit not that simple. Now we can see it from far. We can see very weeks ago, in fact months ago, that this will be a problem because we've been in the market for 20 years. I'm sure Jerome Powell is way more senior than me in financial market, so we know that he knows that. But the only thing is that knowing his position, he has to technically be more subtle towards the whole thing, but you cannot deny that, okay, that this problem is going to come in. Okay, I'll share with you more with this chart here itself. Now, this is the inflation problem since 1920s. Now, in 1920s, you can see that that was a time where deflation came in. Okay. Then after that, in 1944, during the World War II, the Bretton Woods system is being established and it pegs the US dollar to gold. That was where the gold was pretty stabilized, okay? But as time goes by itself, right, okay, that is where, but in 1971, that is where inflation escalated. Now, do understand this, inflation escalated. And when it escalated, President Nixon said, you know what, you cannot continue saying this anymore. Let's look something to abandon the Bretton Woods system. And that was where the gold price shoot up. Okay, because that's where the dollar is no longer pegged to the system, and that is where the dollar really started to depreciate in value. And in 1979, the year I born, okay, Federal Reserve Chairman Paul Volcker introduced a bold anti-inflationary measure as inflation surged by 13%. Now, do note once again, U.S. history, we ever came to that point. But very incredibly is this, okay? Since 1979 itself, you look carefully on the chart here, everybody. You can see that the inflation started to go down, right? Okay, but the US dollar, actually the value also declined at the same time. So somehow or rather, things doesn't really make sense, okay? Now, of course, there was some demand in the US dollar right now because of the inflation of the pandemic, but that causes the inflation now to go higher. Okay, now you can see very clearly it's way above the Federal Reserve so-called 5%, I mean, so-called 2.9, 2.3%. You're looking at that level, but we can see right now it's much higher. So all the consumer CPI, how we utilize it is, these are the main 8 categories, which food and beverages, housing, apparel, education, medical care, recreation, and transportation and goods and services. But my point is this, I'm trying to explain to you is that somehow or rather, this chart doesn't make sense. And if you look carefully itself, right, if you look at a chart point, you can see that basically itself, right, okay, whenever the market starts to recover from a gradual decline, we could see this going up. And this is kind of expected, okay? Now, I don't expect a 10, 20%, but I'm very comfortable to tell you that I do expect to see at 5% easily. Because if you actually look at it across the board, right, everything is going up in prices. So I'm not half surprised to see inflation hitting the 5% mark. And that will going to push up the treasury yields higher, okay? So that is why I say that the US 10-year yield should be able to hit 1.6% rather easily, okay? All right, so the question is this: will Jerome Powell continue to pump in the steroids as necessary to the bull market? Now, the bull market, we all know that have been going up for the last 13 years, okay? Since 2008, where we have the Lehman crisis, and until today itself with 13 years, the market have been going up non-stop, okay? Now, this is not healthy, and I basically set up ASAP. If I can get it up, we'll talk about this. If I can't get it up itself, we'll talk about something else. Don't worry, I'm sure we have a lot of things to talk about to each other, okay? Okay, that will be all for today, MAO. Hopefully you like it. I give you a few views on the gold market. I tell you about the Dow market. I'm telling you about the Hang Seng market today. Quite a bit of stuff. Hope you like it. This is Kel signing off. Bye-bye.